Okay, so in our last lesson, we've styled our header and the H1 within our header. So this is done, and we have this section to work on for this lesson. Okay, so if we start with our sub header, which has a color, it has a weight, and it has a font size. So we'll start working on that first. So what we need to do here, if we go into our HTML, we can see within header we have a P element. Okay, so that's what we need to do. We need to target our P element. So I'm just going to say header, find all the descendants of P. Okay, and we want to change the font size to 20 pixels. So find any descendant of header that is a P and change the font size. So that's what we've done. So now we could deal with the space here provided by the default value of P. So we can override that by saying something like that is obviously the top margin, but we could say margin 2 pixels 0, 0, 0. So we're saying 2 is for the top, 0 is for the right, 0 for the bottom, and 0 for the left. So it's top, right, bottom, and left. So that's a different way of using our margin. If we come back here and we reset, we can see that everything else is back again as we want it. So now we have this color that we need to put into it. If you remember, we're about the hexadecimal values, so we could use the hexadecimal value in this case. So I can come back in here and I can say color, and then I could type in the hexadecimal value. So it's hashtag 5C 422A. Okay, if you type that into your Sublime, you should have the same color as me. So now we reset, we can see the color has changed, and now we can work on the body paragraph. So the body paragraph has 12 points, which I can convert into pixels or something that looks closer to it. And the color is black, so we don't need to worry about that, as black is the default font color. Okay, so within article we have our P. Okay, so we want to target that particular P. So we could say article, find your direct children that are P. Okay, so we're not saying descendants as we did in 31. We want to target a particular one. So we could say font size 15 pixels. Okay, so that reduces the default font size of paragraph, which I think is 16 pixels. Okay, so if we come back in here, we can look around. So we have the footer. Okay, there's a space between our body paragraph and the footer element. So we want to say to article. So because if we look in here, we could see we have article, and below article we have the footer. So we want to say to article, push everything below you down by a particular pixel. So we could target our article, and can you guess how we're going to do that? How we're going to push everything down? Well, it's just the margin. So we could say the margin bottom, we want to push everything below you down by 60 pixels. Okay, so that would do the job. So let's go back into our browser and check it out. And there we go. Everything has been pushed down, and everything is working as we expect. Right, so we've styled a couple of things here. Our paragraph, I'm not really going to indent this as they've done it here. I will leave mine as spaces because it's a little bit clearer. So I'll leave it as it is here. We've changed the color. This section I think is complete now, and we can go ahead and maybe remove our border that we've drawn around the header. Okay, so that's fine. Reset, and everything looks good to me. Right, so we've learned a few things here. We've learned how to, well, the new type of margin on line 32 for a start. We've written a few things. We've changed the font size of our main paragraph. So we have the footer section to deal with. I think I'll leave that for our next lesson. We need to float this left and right, and everything in our document needs to be center aligned as well. So we'll learn how to target our div elements and how to use that, and I will see you in the next lesson.